Here is your host, JR.
Top of the day to you. This is the JR Show. I am your host, JR Flores. You're listening to Kern Radio. Check us out online at kernradio.com. You can also download the Kern Radio app to your smart device and listen that way. You can also head over to YouTube and search up Kern Radio. We are streaming live right now every day, 2 o'clock. Just go over to Kern Radio or go over to YouTube and search up Kern Radio. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Every day that we are live, you can come along for the ride with us. We're also on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just search up Kern Radio. I am also out there, JR Flores, or why not JR? We have a show lined up for you, but I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I ain't feeling the best. Christopher and I made a trip this weekend to Las Vegas to cover the Raiders game. Came back last night. I was feeling it a little bit, but then after I took a nap, or what you would call trying to sleep last night, and then waking up, I felt a little bit worse. And then as the day has progressed on, I even went home and tried to take a nap about an hour or so ago, Chris. If you were wondering when you got here, where the heck is JR? I was trying to take another nap. I got a little bit of sleep in. I feel all right. I feel like we can make it through the show. The only reason that I'm here is because, well, I'm JR and I'm going to show up regardless. But Ralph is landing as we speak. Literally, right now, I was watching the plane. I was tracking it. And he is landing in Baltimore, making his way over to the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., as he is there with Honor Flight. They have taken back a bunch of veterans today, tomorrow, and Wednesday so they can see their monuments. That's all thanks in part to you guys because, as you know, we hold a yearly fundraiser, and this is that week. It just so happens that it landed on the same week that they were going to D.C., so Ralph will be doing shows from D.C. Now, any of you that have listened and know when Ralph shows up in D.C., he ain't ever on time. He's not. JR, can you do like the first half hour? I'm still trying to make it to the hotel, and we got delayed a little bit, and I'm on the road. And if you could just stick around for another half an hour, I got this. Don't even worry about it, Pop. So we'll all sit around and wait for Mr. Bailey to get to the hotel as he'll broadcast live. It is Honor Flight Fundraiser Week here at Kern Radio every day at 5 o'clock. Well, every day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, you're going to hear about Honor Flight. And then Ralph will be back Thursday. The whole show for the whole 3 hours on Thursday will be dedicated to raising money like we always do for the Honor Flight fundraiser. We've raised probably at least $500,000. Just my rough guess. Been doing this with Ralph for 8 years or so. And I would contend that we've raised pretty close to almost $500,000 for Honor Flight. Not us, you guys. We're just a facilitator. It's y'all calling in, making donations, some as big as $5,000, some as small as $50. All of it counts. All of it matters. All of it goes to helping our vets get to Washington, D.C. to see the memorials, and you are going to hear about that all week long right here on Kern Radio. That is presented by Salty's Barbecue, of course. Mr. Jeff Salters, who I believe is also on the flight.
He is.
I'm sure we'll talk to him at some point, but he is a big supporter of Honor Flight and all that they do, and a big supporter of the Ralph Bailey Show and Kern Radio and the things that we try to do in order to help raise those funds for Honor Flight. So just keep listening all week. You'll learn how you can donate if you would like to help get those veterans back to Washington, D.C. So when you listen at 3 today, Ralph will be in Washington, D.C. I'm in Bakersfield. Yesterday, Christopher and I, what did we spend? A total of 19 hours, I believe, in Las Vegas? Maybe 19 hours.
Not long enough.
Not long enough. Thank you all who came out on Saturday to Brunch Fest and hung out with us. I was out there, met a lot of listeners. Daniel came over and said hello. And mentioned the street sign. A couple of people that listened to the broadcast stopped by the booth just to say hi. We appreciate all of you and all of you for coming out to Brunch Fest It was a great, great time out at the Kern County Fair, one of the best yet. And Chris, since he announced the winners, is going to tell us who won because I have no idea.
Oh, don't put it.
You announced the winners, Chris.
I slept since then.
They came to you. You went to Vegas since then too.
Arrived in an electrical storm too.
Went through it. We're going to tell you about our trip to Vegas in just a second. But the Brunch Fest winners were.
Best in brunch beverage was the Boulevard for their kiwi cooler.
Ooh.
The best hangover
I didn't
was,
get,
of course, Jerry's Pizza for the pozole.
I didn't get to try either of those.
The best creative creation was MB2 for their frittatas. And chorizo frittatas.
Oh, yes. It was chorizo with the egg underneath it and some guacamole on top.
Ooh, that sounds fantastic. I don't think I got to that.
I tried a little bit. It was really good.
Best sweet treat, nothing bundt cakes, of course.
I don't remember seeing them.
Oh, they were there. She had a whole bunch of different cakes you could have tried.
Maybe. No, I did try a bundt cake. I'm lying. I did.
Always fantastic.
Always.
And the last one we gave away was best in brunch overall, which was Spencer's for their chicken fried steak with jalapeno gravy.
I didn't get to try that either.
See, I missed out.
Well, I was working, Chris. You know,
you and me both.
I didn't get to roam around like the rest of y'all and try all these delectable things. But if you have
I didn't get to roam anywhere, I was stuck in the front telling people where to get their cutlery because no one could figure that out.
Nobody could figure out that the forks are right there. If you were Katie Porter, you would have said, "You flipping idiot! What are you, incompetent?" Oh, we'll hear about Miss Katie Porter. More has come out. Goodness gracious, where's my phone? More has come out on the gubernatorial candidate for governor of California. I'll tell you the latest on what her ex-husband had to say, not recently, but in divorce filings. It's painting a very good picture of what Miss Porter is. But continue with our winners of Brunch Fest, sir. Is that it? I lost you. Is that all the winners?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's Ralph. He's chiming in, letting me know that he has touchdown.
I know. That's what I said. I was watching the plane. He is literally touchdown. Now, the question that I asked earlier, Chris, is the big question. It's not whether he made it. It's not whether he touched down. It's not whether or not he's going to make it to the airport on time. It's did they take all the proper equipment, darn it?
He claims that they are going to be there by 5:30, 5:45 his time, which would be 2:30 our time. They're claiming 15 minutes.
Y'all want to make bets? Who wants to make bets with me? That they ain't making it there by 2:45. You kidding? 15 minutes from Baltimore to DC on a bus? They're barely going to get on the bus.
They said the same thing last year and they got caught in traffic.
It's going to take them more than 15 minutes to get on the bus. You kidding me? How many vets did they take with them?
That was a good question. Lily, if you're listening, please chime in.
Somebody, how many vets are on that plane? Because it ain't going to take 15 minutes to get there to the hotel from there, unless they're staying somewhere closer. But that was our winners from Brunch Fest. Let me tell you about our trip before we get into the latest from the Katie Porter debacle. Christopher and I left. Brunch Fest ended at 3. I had my daughter. We hung around. It was about 6:30, 7 o'clock by the time we got on the road, gassed up. Started heading east, and everything was going great right up until we got to Baker. Then we left Baker, and I said, "What is that flashing in the distance in the sky there, Christopher?"
It was a Baker or was it Barstow?
It was Baker.
It was a Baker?
Yeah, it was a thermometer. It was the thermometer. It was after Barstow, after Baker. Just as we were leaving Baker, I looked up in the sky just in front of us. And it was deep out there in the distance, but there was just this little flashing that kept going off. And it was going off, consistently. It wasn't this, every once a minute. No, it was lighting. And it was, like I said, at that point, it was just a small dot in the sky.
Yeah, but so frequently it looked like it could have been fireworks.
That's what we kept trying to surmise. What is it? I go, I think it's lightning. Chris looks up the weather. There's no storms around here, JR. Nothing. I've got nothing on the radar. Maybe it's fireworks or something. Maybe somebody's out in the desert doing something crazy. Who knows? It's the desert. It's the middle of the desert. It could be anything. So we continued down the road. Then we got to, just before state line. And the flashing by that point had got considerably closer and considerably bigger and considerably brighter. And we could tell at that point, no, that's lightning. That's definitely lightning going off in the sky. So Chris, again, check the radar. Nothing. But boy, could we see the biggest lightning storm going on. And it looked at one point like we were directly headed into it. And we were still tripping. We thought at one point we were getting abducted by aliens. We thought at another point the rapture was coming. We thought at another point Thor was about to come out of the sky. It was that apocalyptic. And I know you think that I'm just making this up for radio, but I ain't lying. We tried to take video. It didn't come out as clear. We passed state line and it shifted around and it looked like I said, it was a tunnel that we were about to drive through at one point. I hung up with the lady because she was like, y'all are tripping.
She didn't believe us.
She didn't believe us. You would have thought it was Fear and Loathing with Johnny Depp going down the freeway and been like, this is backcountry. It's backcountry. Give me the golf shoes.
I forgot to make that joke this morning.
Seriously, you would have thought we were on mushrooms or acid or something. So much to the point that after we passed, what was it, Prim?
I think so, yeah.
It was Prim, and I said, I'm calling my sister. This thing is huge out in the middle of the desert. She's got to be able to see this from Las Vegas. So I called her up, and I was like, hey, what's going on, sis? We're almost here. Are you at home? Yeah, why? What's going on? Why are you calling me 35 minutes out? Well, you should probably go outside and look in the backyard and just tell me if you see the same thing that I see out here in the desert. She walked outside and she goes, oh my gosh, that's quite the storm going on out there. Looks like it's almost in Phoenix or something. I was like, it ain't in Phoenix. It looks like it's coming over our heads. But she reassured us, no, it's off in the distance. Well, it didn't look like it was off in the distance to me. Then we finally got into Vegas. The storm was still going on out there. At one point, we thought it was going to shift and start to make its way to Henderson. That's where my dad's house is at. But it never did, and it kind of calmed down after that. I'm still not sure what the heck. I'd love to see, and I didn't get a chance to look it up to see if anybody had mentioned it anywhere in the world, in this part of the country. But boy, that
Me still feels like it's a fever dream for the two of us. I have no idea why.
That's why we called somebody else. Because even as we were going by cars or cars were passing us, me and Chris would look in the car like, are y'all seeing the same thing that we were seeing? Please, we don't know. We think we're just tripping.
Like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, but real.
It was the craziest drive that I've had. Some pretty memorable rides to Vegas. I've had rides that I don't remember to Vegas, to be completely honest with you. This one by far took the cake. I've never seen anything like that. Even my sister said at one point, yeah, that was probably the biggest storm I've ever seen out there. I've never seen anything like that. And they lived in Vegas for 20 plus years. So that was our trip. The rest of the trip was fine. We got there, stayed at my dad's house, ate dinner at midnight, went to the game the next day. The Raiders won, baby.
JR is not the problem.
What happened?
You don't remember?
We were trying to figure out if I was the jinx because the last couple of home games that I went to, we lost. And I thought, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the jinx. Maybe I can't show up at games anymore. Just to test it out, let's go one more time against a really bad team. And if we lose, then I know it's me.
No one was even giving them credit for the win either. That's what bugged me.
Well, it's the Tennessee Titans. We even got into we got into the elevator after the game to go down to the press conference and go into the locker room. Yes, and I say that braggingly because we get to go down into the press conference with Pete Carroll and go into the locker room with all the players afterwards. Yes, and yes. But we're in the elevator to go down, and there's some Tennessee Titans reporters that cover the Titans all season long, and they go to all the games, and they were like, this is the worst Tennessee Titans team we have ever witnessed. And we kind of were like, no way, dude. And they're like, yeah, it's that bad. That bad. Like, we don't even want to go into the visitors' locker room right now because all we have to do is ask the same questions. Why are we so bad? Why are we so terrible? But it was definitely a different feel in the locker room for the Raiders and even in the press conference. I don't know if you felt that, Chris. The last time when they lost, you could feel just the I don't even know, just in the
It's funny. It is a much different vibe when you win.
Oh, yeah.
It's even a different vibe with the journalists when they're asking questions because the kids were commenting on how quickly we got through with Coach Carroll. And I laughed because I looked back and these kids are probably like just starting college or something. And I looked at them and said, it's much easier for a writer to write about something bad than praise someone for something good.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to read something that's good.
Well, again, and then it's the Titans. So how much can you spend to make it look like we're really
Right.
that good?
You're still 2-4.
Still 2-4.
Like at this point, potpourri is not going to help.
And we got the Chiefs coming next week, so we're going to Kansas. Yeah, we're going to Kansas City, so that don't help much. But it was a good time. At one point, the girl next to me, a wannabe reporter, social media, because all she was doing on her laptop, at least I know that I'm phony baloney. I don't even pretend to pull out my laptop anymore and act like I'm doing something. She still pretended. And all she was doing was like on Facebook and social media, and she would like heart a comment. I was like, really? Really? That's how you're covering the game? At least we're getting audio and video and putting it up for Chris's show, the Early Bird Special.
But I still have some clips that are going to be coming out in the next couple of days.
But boy, she was the freaking Nazi of the press box. At one point, and I get it. Look, I'm a Raiders fan, but I know I'm there as a working member of the media, so I have to be professional. I'm not up there hooting and hollering and cheering and getting all crazy. I don't even clap. I barely show emotion. You guys can ask Chris. If I was at home watching the game, I'd be yelling at the TV. But I sit there well composed, very professional. At one point in the game, they showed Shane Leckler, our old punter, the old Raiders' greatest punter.
Arguably one of the greatest punters of all time.
Of all time. All time.
All time.
He was at the game. They put him up on the screen. I go, oh, look, it's Shane Leckler. Clap 3 times. Literally. She leans over and she goes, you know, we're not allowed to cheer in here. I looked over at her like, yeah, I know. She leans back in and she's like, no, but seriously, I'm just trying to let you know we're not allowed to cheer in here. And every time I got up, I walked 5 steps away to throw something in the trash can. She pushes in my chair. Who are you? And then they bring out the veteran. You know how they do that during games. They'll bring out the one veteran. Well, they did. And I stood up. Now, I had already been warned by this lady how I'm not supposed to cheer, and apparently not even for the veteran, so I didn't. All I did was stand up and respect. What does she do? She starts applauding. I swear it took every fiber in my body not to turn to her and say, excuse me, ma'am, but we're not allowed to cheer in here. I hope they do not sit me next to that person again. Goodness gracious. Got to take a break. Come back on the other side. We'll talk a little bit about Katie Porter as we wait for Ralph to land in Washington, D.C. Maybe we'll talk to him before the end of the show as well. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Ralph Bailey Show. Weekdays from 3 till 6 p.m.
It's so incredibly difficult to take Hamas's word, but apparently Israel and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire deal that's intended to end the devastating Gaza war, which I don't think it's even close. The Nobel Peace Prize winner is Donald John Trump, and it's not even close.
On News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
It's finally Friday, and boy, do I need it. I need the stockyard in my life. I got no plans. It's time for Dad to relax. Get an adult beverage, have Haley behind the bar take care of me, maybe get me some steak bites or a shrimp cocktail, something off the menu from KC Steakhouse. You're wondering, where am I? I am at 2525 F Street, the Stockyard. Little speakeasy located right next to KC Steakhouse from the folks that brought you KC Steakhouse. Go over there. You're going to see the rope, the red carpet. Ring the bell. They're going to ask you the password. Tell them, why not JR? Then be prepared to relax. I need some Lade playing the acoustic guitar in my life to set the atmosphere for a wonderful, relaxing weekend. And I look no further than the Stockyard, 2525 F Street. Come on down and join me. Just make sure you tell them the password, why not JR?
The annual enrollment period for Medicare is here. That means that it is time for you to select your Medicare plan for 2026. This annual enrollment period, choose a name you already trust. Select Kern Family Healthcare Medicare, DSNP, a new option for people who have both Medicare and Medi-Cal. For over 29 years, Kern Family Healthcare has been a trusted name in Medi-Cal. Now, we're here to support your Medicare journey too. Call 1-866-661-3767. Again, that's 1-866-661-3767. Or visit www.kernfamilyhealthcare.com/Medicare to learn more and enroll. Start your Medicare journey with local care you trust. Choose Kern Family Healthcare. Kern Family Healthcare Medicare is an HMO D-SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the California Medicaid program. Enrollment in Kern Family Healthcare Medicare HMO D-SNP depends on contract renewal.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
Take care.
Riders on the Storm. That is very fitting. I didn't know whether it was a true storm or we were like the Doors on acid, because it was a trippy experience, that lightning storm.
I was tripped out on acid. I was not aware of that.
Yeah. Whatever they
I
put
did not
in,
consent.
yeah, whatever they put in that drink, I wasn't aware. But it was. I thought even at one point it was an electrical storm happening, and that it was just going to knock out all of our devices. Chris was even like, "Dude, I hope we don't get struck by lightning going through this thing." It's like, well, the cars in front of us are going. We're going to keep marching on. 661-842-5376. 661-842-KRN. Somebody did call and try to say Ray Guy is the greatest punter of all time for the Raiders, which as soon as I said Shane Leckler, greatest punter, you have an argument for Ray Guy.
There's a great argument there.
There is one to be had there, but I would just say I didn't get to see Ray Guy kick. I got to see Shane Leckler kick.
Shane Leckler had the best leg in football.
Prettiest leg, like Ken Griffey's swinging baseball. It was just smooth. He put it wherever you want on the field. And
I argue Shane was one of the only punters of his time that would actually go lay a hit down.
yeah, he would take you on.
He would go lay.
He was looking. He wanted to hit somebody. So my vote still is for Shane Leckler. But yes, Ray Guy is definitely in the conversation. Also, we got to take part in the pregame ceremony for Eric Allen as he got his Hall of Fame plaque put up at Allegiant Stadium. The family was there, the wife, the kids, the grandkids. Chris and I got to go take part and watch that. You can go over to
a zillion nieces and nephews and grandkids.
Yeah, the whole family was there.
Oh Lord.
Go watch some clips on the Early Bird special on Instagram. It's up right now. Got to get to a break. Ralph claims he has landed and gonna make it to the hotel on time for the start of the show. Already. Nah, we already stated it. Nope. Too late, Ralph. You can't take it back. I told you he ain't going to make it on time. I got bets placed already. We got a poll going in the YouTube chat. We'll find out the latest from Mr. Bailey, plus the latest from Katie Porter. All that coming up next. It's the JR Show. It's Kern Radio. We'll be right back. He ain't gonna make it, y'all. He ain't gonna make it.
News. On Keith Peters in Washington, Israel and Hamas have taken a significant step in the ceasefire agreement for the Gaza war by releasing hostages and prisoners. The move raises hopes for a long-term truce in the region, However, unresolved issues like Hamas's disarmament and Gaza governance highlight the deal's fragility. On Monday, Israelis celebrated the return of hostages while Palestinians welcomed freed prisoners. Republican Speaker Mike Johnson predicts the federal government shutdown may become the longest in history. He says he won't negotiate with Democrats until they hit pause on their health care demands and reopen the government. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 588 points, the Nasdaq rose 490, the S&P advanced 102. This is SRN News.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. Motorcycle and SUV collided on Highway 178 and the crash resulted in serious injuries, according to Bakersfield Police. A statement from the police said the man and woman on the motorcycle were taken to the hospital for treatment and their condition was listed as critical following the accident that was reported on Sunday morning around 9:30. The investigation into the incident is ongoing. The California Department of Health is urging all Californians to protect themselves against expected winter respiratory viruses by staying up to date with recommended vaccines. In a statement, CDPH Director and State Public Health Officer Dr. Erica Pan said vaccines are covered by healthcare insurers as regulated by the state. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code FAST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash.
I thought it was a sinus infection, y'all. I thought my sinuses were acting up. I don't know. I'm not so sure about that anymore. I probably shouldn't even be here today. But here we are. Because I love y'all, man. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
All that and more will be breaking down for you. You won't want to miss it. Come hang with us on the Tuesday edition of and Buck.
Live 9 to noon. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. The Armstrong and Getty Show. Weekdays noon to 2 on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
My dreams, they gotta kiss me 'cause I don't get sleep now.
Feel good.
Windmill for the
You know, I just realized this though.
What's that?
We're gonna have to do a PSA for YouTube listeners.
Why is that?
We're not gonna have Ralph on YouTube.
No, Ralph Bailey will not be broadcasting on YouTube today.
Or tomorrow or Wednesday.
I would try to teach him how to do it from there, but he'd screw it up. Let's just be honest.
It's also meticulous on the phone and keeping him on the stream. That's even if the internet is good enough to keep him on.
My guy couldn't even tell time correctly when he landed in DC. Come on. We got to Baltimore and he's like, oh yeah, we're going to make it on time. And now what is he saying, Chris?
So he texts me about 5 minutes after he calls me and says,
we're going to be there. We'll be there on time. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. We're great. No time.
He claims his phone somehow went to Central Time.
Yeah. He got stuck in Colorado. Yeah.
And he will not be available he will be available to the first 15 minutes, obviously, from the bus, as he usually does.
Right. Yeah.
But he will need somebody to most likely eat about 15 to 30 minutes while he gets set up in the hotel somewhere around 3:30 to 4 o'clock.
So I was right.
Yeah.
In other words.
As we usually know how this goes.
And I know, I've worked with Mr. Bailey now for over a decade.
Well, see, here's the thing. I don't even know if we can necessarily blame him for this.
Oh,
or blame anybody, really.
No, it's if it's gonna happen to anybody, it's gonna happen to
Well, it's going to happen to him,
Ralph.
100%. But Lily Marsh is so good when it comes to getting this stuff done on time and ready to go. So you can just account for most of this stuff.
Is she on the flight? I don't even know if she went this one.
Although we do have a breakdown of actually the amount of veterans and stuff like that are going.
Oh, okay.
That is 101 veterans.
101 veterans.
Along with 72 guardians and staff members. 73 would be the total.
Like I said, y'all ain't even going to get to the bus and on the bus in 15 minutes.
But again, I don't think there necessarily needs to be blame for this. It's more of just like we are right on time every single time, so we know this kind of thing happens.
Everybody is saying the same thing that I am, Chris, right now. Yeah, okay.
I'm trying here.
Yeah. Look at Chris trying to stick up for Ralph Bailey.
Well,
Look at Chris.
I'm more sticking up for the group in general.
Look at Chris making excuses for Mr. Bailey already.
I'm
trying to get him out of it. Oh, goodness. But Ralph will be on the show or on the air at some point today, just not on YouTube. He will be on the airwaves as it is Honor Flight Fundraiser Week here on the Ralph Bailey Show and Current Radio, happening all week long, every day. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, obviously, you hear a lot about Honor Flight as Ralph is in Washington, D.C. with the veterans going on. I don't even know what flight number this is at this point, but as they are taking their veterans back to their memorials, so you'll hear a lot of interviews from there. Honor Flight 52
is Honor Flight
52. 52nd flight. You'll hear a lot of interviews with the vets out at their memorials from Ralph, all culminating. He'll fly back on Wednesday, which means he probably won't have a show again. Let's just be honest. We all know how this goes already. But on Thursday, when he's actually back in the studio and back on YouTube, that'll be the big Honor Flight fundraiser day where we dedicate the whole 3 hours of the show to helping raise funds for Honor Flight. And we only have you, the listeners, to thank for that. Over the years, we've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. Thanks in total to your generosity and your kindness and giving back. That is the spirit, I believe, of Bakersfield and Kern County, that we are a very giving community, especially when it comes to our veterans. And you guys show that every single year that we do this, as you guys show up to support. So we thank you for that. You'll learn more about ways you can donate, how you can donate, where you can donate. Scanning QR codes will get all that information to you as the week progresses, but just keep it locked to Kern Radio and especially to the Ralph Bailey Show this week. Anything on the text board, sir? 661-842-5376, 661-842-KERN, before we jump into a little news from the weekend here locally.
No, I mean, we just got the breakdown here from Honor Flight 51. We might as well go down it real quick.
Okay.
24 Air Force members, 22 Navy, 41 Army, 14 Marines, and 1 Coast Guard member. I don't see any breakdowns on the actual wars they were a part of. I know we do have 1 World War II.
I heard there's at least 1 World War II veteran and a couple of Korean and Vietnam veterans
if I remember correctly,
are also on the flight. I'm sure Ralph will be able to break that down all for you when he comes on live. Anything else on that board before I jump in the YouTube chat?
No, that should be about it.
Ray said, thank you for the tickets to Brunch Fest. That was awesome. The food, the drink, the music, and the people. What a blessing for me. Bakersfield is awesome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that, Ray. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for listening. Thanks for stopping by the booth and saying hi. Great time. I am a gambler. I bet Ralph is on at 307. Let's start a pool. Well, you've already lost there. I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't gamble so much. Ralph ain't going to make it on time. Come on now. Somebody said, it's not you, JR. The Raiders are horrible as usual. Yes, they are. They are. We figured that out, week 3? That we're just a bad football team. I don't know if it's coaching. The offensive line for sure is terrible. Probably one of the worst in all of football.
Yeah, that's your main concern.
It totally is. Geno is scrambling for his life every single play. Genty, to his credit, is a great running back. and found holes and ways to get through, but that offensive line is terrible. How many times is he getting hit or having to juke somebody in the backfield just to get out?
I don't know exactly what the percentages are now, but there was a point in time in this season where he literally was 100% for yards after contact. So literally every yard
Yeah.
he had gotten, he had been hit first.
Yeah, he probably gets hit behind the line. It's crazy. Are you going to the Raiders versus Broncos on December 7th? I may be there. I don't know yet, D-boy. Not sure. Every week, every home game is we put in the request and then we wait and see. But I know our GM is also a Broncos fan, so he might be trying to take that week from us. Just gonna say that. Somebody ought to remind him though. Hey, Billy, there is no cheering allowed inside of the press box. Wanted to turn and just shut up. Who are you? The rule Nazi? Get away from me, little girl. How old are you? Like 22?
Really was. She was young.
You stink too.
She had to have been about my age. Like 30s.
Like, goodness gracious. Don't ever sit me next to this person.
She was there by herself. Like, I don't think she had anybody.
No, she didn't have anybody with her. The people on the other side of her, those two people were together. She was all, like I said, she wasn't even. I tried to see it and tried to see who she was working for, but she wasn't working for nobody. She was on her social media the whole time. She's on Facebook.
Well, again, that's what most of these kids get sent to do, is just get content from the game.
Like, what are you doing? Heart in a comment right now. Really? That's what we're doing right now. That's what you okay. At least I know that I'm phoning baloney. I'm just here to watch the game and get the free food. Kidding me? Jimmy Eggs, great to see you this weekend, sir. It's always good to see you, Jimmy Eggs. Always, 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 always. 661-842-5376, 661-842-KRN. If you want to jump in and chat anytime, that's the way to do so. You can also get on YouTube and jump in the chat there as well. You guys remember Annabelle Correa, whatever her last name is. She is the 22-year-old who is facing 8 felony counts, including 2 counts of second-degree murder. You might remember the story where she was driving home allegedly drunk. We know that her blood alcohol content was over the legal limit, smashing into an Uber driver who was carrying 2 people with them on the corner at the intersection of Stockdale and Coffee. She ran the red light, striking the Uber driver and its passengers, killing both of them. Max Austin Mooney died at the scene. Desiree Polly Mooney, both 30 years old, dying at I almost said KMC, aging myself. Kern Medical. They were doing the right thing. Went out to go have some drinks, took an Uber ride home. Miss Annabelle Correa decided she was going to have some drinks. Get in the car and drive herself. Ran a red light, plowed into them. Well, as we see with most cases, this one is being delayed just a little bit longer. Her preliminary hearing has been postponed from Monday to December because her attorney is on trial, apparently. So we'll wait for the results of this. Now, the thing that worries me with this case, her blood alcohol content was 0.088. The legal limit is 0.08. So she was barely over the legal limit. Nonetheless, still intoxicated. And you guys know my advice. Even if you have one drink, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And maybe she did. Maybe she only did have one drink. Maybe she did only have one hard lemonade or whatever it is that she said she had. But now 2 people are dead. And she is facing some very, very serious charges. I was happy to come home and wake up this morning and not hear about a DUI accident where somebody lost their life. I was very, very happy to hear that. It's not the usual anymore here in Kern County and Bakersfield. Hopefully they make an example out of this young lady. So the rest of y'all will start to take this serious. Also out of Bakersfield, the man has been sentenced. This was last week after he pled no contest to felony charges in connection with the fatal shooting of a teen at his home that occurred when he left a gun unattended. You guys tell me what you think. Gregory Wisniewski, 34, got 3 years in prison. 2 years in connection with the deadly shooting. So he only got 2 years. Meanwhile, a 14-year-old is dead because he didn't properly store his firearms. He had another year tacked on for convictions in other cases. You guys aren't going to like what I think about this, but this all started back in January of 2024 when a group of teens were hanging out at Mr. Wisniewski's home. Somehow they got a hold of a handgun. There's different accounts. One teen said, the guy, he gave it to us. Mr. Wisniewski gave us the gun, handed it to us. Another kid said, no, that's not right. We got the gun out of a different room. However, the gun wasn't secured. Kids got a hold of it, started messing with it. And young Jaden Henry Marvin Jackson, 14 years old, was hit in the neck and died. The teen that was holding the gun got a gunshot wound to his left hand, told investigators he didn't think the gun was loaded. 1. Please properly secure your firearms. I am a big proponent of the Second Amendment. You should be able to own guns, have guns, but you also have to be responsible. And I know most of you out there are, so this isn't for you, but the others, please responsibly store your firearms so that kids cannot get a hold of them. Second, parents out there, and even just adults, if you ever come across a firearm, always handle it like if it is loaded. I don't care if you think that it's not loaded. I don't care if you've checked and thought, oh yeah, no, I cleared the chamber, it's all good. Let me show you this trick I know. Always handle your firearms as if they are loaded. Now, Mr. Wisniewski, like I said, got another year tacked on because he had drug offenses and vehicle theft. This is where you guys aren't going to probably like me. Mr. Wisniewski probably shouldn't even have been owning a gun. If you have drug charges on you, as soon as you begin to break the law in a serious way that involve drugs, your right to anything should be questioned. If you have a case involving drugs, you shouldn't be able to own a gun. I'm sorry, and I just got done saying how much of a pro Second Amendment guy I am. But I also know there are some people out there that just don't need to have a gun. And this person probably shouldn't have had a gun to begin with. I said it. But unfortunately they did. Teens got a hold of it, and he lost a 14-year-old lost his life, and Mr. Wisniewski only gets 2 years. 2 years for a kid losing his life because you were negligent. Oh, and by the way, we're going to add another year for the drug charges and vehicle theft. You mean to tell me that your drug charges and vehicle theft amount to half of the time that you're going to get for somebody dying? And I hate to be the guy that always goes after the district attorney, but my boy came with a plea deal. And though he might not have been the one that pulled the trigger, he was certainly the owner of the gun. And this is where we have to start hitting this, is with the parents. when the kids get a hold of your guns or any other weapons and use them in any sort of way that results in a death or crime, the parent should be held responsible and more than just 2 years when somebody dies. I'm sorry. Some of you don't probably agree with that. Some of you definitely probably don't agree whether Mr. Wisniewski was ever should have been able to own a gun. But I can be a pro-gun guy and still say my guy shouldn't have owned a gun. It's crazy that two things could be true at the same time. I know. It's very foreign in today's climate, in today's society, that two things be true at the same time. Let's get to a break. We'll tell you on the other side a little bit about Katie Porter's recent. It's not recent because it stems from a divorce filings from way back in 2013, but it just continues to paint a picture of who this lady is that is trying to be the governor of California. And it's not a good picture. We'll tell you the latest out of the camp for Katie Porter, gubernatorial candidate in California, the front runner. We'll see after the latest polls and these latest controversies. And I'll tell you about a 10-year-old gorilla down in San Diego that, well, he was just pissed off one day and had enough. I'll tell you what he did down in San Diego. It's the JR Show. We're all waiting for Ralph Bailey to land. I'll probably be here for another hour. I didn't even want to be here for this hour. Let's just be honest. I do not feel well.
You've been fighting for a couple days, folks.
But I'm here for y'all because that's what I do. Because I love every single one of you. This is the JR Show. It's Current Radio. We'll be right back.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Start your day right. First Look with Scott Cox, 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Tuesday edition of the First Look program, we'll talk water with the ultimate authority on valley water issues. That would be Lois Henry. And speaking of water, a lot of it will be falling from the sky. Plus, we'll have news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 right here at News Talk 96.1 and streaming live on the World Wide Webs at kernradio.com.
First Look with...
Oh, and my phone is breaking, you guys. I can't show this on the radio to anybody, but you guys on YouTube can see this. Check this out. You see my phone? See the white stripe on this side? Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there. See that? See that? Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. I need a new phone. My life is falling apart.
Gathering of nitro cars in the country. So come feel the
Saturday.
See the champions crowned on Championship Sunday. Tickets available at the gate or NHRAmuseum.org. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. The California Hot Rod Reunion, presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports, featuring Nitro Revival at Famoso Drag Strip in Bakersfield, October 24th through the 26th. Be there.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
The Charlie Kirk Show, weekdays at 6 p.m. on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN. Now, back to the JR Show.
Welcome back. It's the JR Show. It's Current Radio. Check us out online at currentradio.com. You can also find us on YouTube streaming live right now. Just go over to YouTube and look up Current Radio. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. Find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just look up Current Radio. I'm also out there, JR Flores, or why not JR? It's funny that on the screen behind you, Chris, is House Speaker Mike Johnson, who is now saying that the government shutdown may go on as the longest government shutdown of all time. And I'm only going to say, well, I'll say two things. One, everybody is to blame. The president, the speaker, the Republicans, the Democrats, all of them, all of Washington, D.C. I don't care who you like, who you don't like. All of them are responsible for this. Now, my other question, my other just kind of observation, I guess you could say. How in the hell does Donald Trump, who is in Egypt today, I believe? He was in Israel and in Egypt talking peace. How in the hell does the president of the United States get Israel and Hamas to agree on a peace deal, but we can't get our government to start back up? You gonna mean to tell me two of the biggest enemies on earth, Israel and Hamas, can agree to peace, but the Republicans and the Democrats up in Washington, D.C. can't agree on anything just to open up the government? How in the world is that possible? In which alternate reality is that so? It just boggles my mind. Israel, Hamas, peace. Republicans, Democrats, let's shut it all down. It's a non-starter talking point. Now, I understand the Democrats want to spend 107 whatever trillion, billion, gazillion dollars. And Speaker Mike Johnson is like, that's not even a starter. We're not even going to discuss this. This could be the possibly longest government shutdown of all time. And you're proud of that. You're proud of that. You're going to hang your hat on that. Okay. How Israel and Hamas come to peace, but the Democrats and Republicans can't? Somebody's got to explain it to me. Somebody's got to explain it to me. We got to get out of here for the day. Stay tuned, because I think I'm going to be hosting again for the next at least 20 to 30 minutes as Mr. Bailey has landed in Baltimore. For those that don't know, you got to land in Baltimore, then you make your way over to Washington, D.C. That's what they're in the process of doing. Mr. Bailey originally said he'd be on the air at time. I bet against that, so I win. But then I lose because, well, I got to keep going. But Mr. Bailey will join us at some point, even if it is from his cell phone. I got to get out of here for the day to make room for myself. It's been the JR Show. Lily, Dad loves you.
This is AM 1180 KERN. This is
What do you guys think? Should we just stay live? Or we just stay live right here? We'll just stay live. We won't even change videos. We'll just stay with it. You guys hang around. Hang around with us.
Middle East. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
Addressing Israel's parliament in Jerusalem, the president celebrated the return of the living hostages as part of the Gaza ceasefire plan.
Today, the skies are calm, the guns are silent, the sirens are still, and the sun rises on a holy land that is finally at peace.
Earlier, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu told lawmakers,
Donald Trump is the greatest friend that the state of Israel has ever had in the White House.
The president said now is the time for Israel to translate its battlefield victories into peace. Greg Clugston, Washington.
All 20 living Israeli hostages have been released. Former hostage Aviva Siegels, who was released prior to today, says it's amazing that all the hostages are free.
I'm exploding with joy. I feel like the happiest person in earth. It's just amazing that the day came and it's now and it's happening. I have 20 hostages that are alive in Israel.
No end to the federal government shutdown in sight. At a news conference, House Speaker Mike Johnson says he will not negotiate with Democrats.
You've heard Chuck Schumer say breathlessly, I just want the four leaders to get in a back room and make a deal. We're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. We're getting back to regular order, and it's infuriating that that's what he continues to demand.
Texas camp owners are asking the state health agency to give them more time and flexibility to comply with costly new safety requirements implemented after a July flood killed 27 campers and counselors at Camp Mystic. On Wall Street, the Dow by 588 points. More at townhall.com.
Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. I've always been a strong believer in precious metals investment, and I've always been fascinated with rare coin collecting. But owning the wrong coins that only make dealers a lot of money can be catastrophic for your investment portfolio. AmFed Coin and Bullion specializes in taking people out of non-performing coin portfolios and turning them into gold, silver, or platinum bullion. They tailor a portfolio based on your goals and not what they want to sell you. You'll never experience scare tactics, misleading hype, or high-pressure sales from owner Nick Grovich and his very knowledgeable staff. They will evaluate your portfolio, show you how your coins have performed, and take the time to educate you on the ugly industry practices so that you can make an informed decision. Smart people can make very bad investments when they're under pressure and lack the facts. Call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. AmericanFederal.com.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
I'm John Shearer. A man was found dead on a Bakersfield residential street Sunday morning. Police say some evidence suggests it was a hit and run on the 7900 block of Camino Media just off Gosford Road. The police department received a report of a man lying on the street about 8 a.m. Sunday. Anyone with information is urged to call the Bakersfield Police Department. A motorcycle and SUV collided on Highway 178, and the crash resulted in serious injuries, according to Bakersfield Police. A statement from the police said the man and woman on the motorcycle were taken to the hospital for treatment, and their condition was listed as critical following the accident that reportedly occurred Sunday morning around 9:30. The investigation into the incident is ongoing, BPD said. It appears there are more layoffs on the way for Chevron employees in Bakersfield. According to Chevron, it is anticipating 75 employees will be laid off at the San Joaquin Valley headquarters and Kern River Fields, both located in Bakersfield. The company said the layoffs will be permanent and the affected employees will receive a severance package. Reportedly, the layoffs are set to begin next week on the 23rd. All blood donors who make successful donations at the Houchin Community Blood Bank this week will receive 2 general admission tickets, good for any Bakersfield College Renegades home game. The promotion will run through the 18th, and all donation centers and mobile drives will participate, according to organizers. A community service project by Leadership Bakersfield was completed last week at the Kern County Library Southwest Branch. According to the Greater Bakersfield Chamber, the project was titled Little Readers, Future Leaders. I'm John Shearer in the KERN Newsroom. News every half hour or when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
What do you think, this is the Army where you shoot them a mile away? You gotta get up close like this. Little bing, you blow their brains all over your nice Ivy League suit.
It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1180 KERN.
Now make sure you leave the house when you make the call. You understand me? You hear me? Call from an outside line. I mean it.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening. This is the Ralph Bailey Show, somewhere between Baltimore, Washington International Thurgood Marshall Airport, and the Commonwealth of Virginia. It is a rainy, cold day here in Baltimore, but the good news is, as I've talked about all week long, following this trip, this is the day where we do absolutely nothing. We just touched down about a half an hour ago. As I say, we're wheeling our way to Virginia. And then tomorrow is the big day. Tomorrow is where we get out, start about 7 a.m. We will tool around.